Incredible years. It's going to be something special.
10:30 is when the coverage starts today on the Big 550 KTRS. And the man who is going to be bringing it to us live, Aaron Katersky, who is in Washington, D.C., and he's huddled in the corner of the Capitol on the stage to give us the play-by-play. Good morning, Aaron Katersky.
Good morning, McGraw. This Capitol was briefly bathed in an orange glow as the sun came up this Inauguration Day. Clouds have moved in now, and so has the helicopter that will carry President Obama away from Washington following the swearing in of his successor. And all the official events begin in the next few minutes when President-elect and his family leave Blair House across from the White House, walk through Lafayette Park to St. John's Church for a brief service. Then Mr. and Mrs. Trump head into the White House for tea and coffee with the President and First Lady, and together they ride here to the Capitol. That's a great tradition. Presidents incoming and outgoing have been taking that ride since 1837.
Now, you're going to be telling us the play-by-play, and the stage there is going to be star-studded, including one Hillary Rodham Clinton will be there steps away watching Donald Trump's being sworn in.
She has endured so many personal humiliations, and this has to be one of them, as she sits and watches a moment that she thought would be hers. And instead, it belongs to the man that beat her in a bitter campaign in which he really, he threatened to drain the swamp. He campaigned against this entire place and the Capitol itself. And so for the billionaire businessman and reality star, this is something of a hostile takeover today.
Weather, Aaron Katersky, you mentioned it was a beautiful sunrise with an orange glow, which is somewhat ironic, but weather at noon, what are they calling for?
It's going to rain, and President-elect Trump joked that the rain would at least let people see that it's his real hair. But umbrellas have been positioned at the chairs of some of the dignitaries. Those chairs are wrapped in plastic. There's plastic on the podium, and they've allowed some of the spectators out on the National Mall to carry small umbrellas. But most of the assembled will not have any protection from the weather.
And then in terms of crowd, both the supporters and the protesters, what are you seeing?
We are starting to see crowds now fill in the standing room spaces along the National Mall. The protesters are expected to be here too somewhere. Whether they actually come in beyond the security perimeter, we're not sure. There are no placards allowed or nothing allowed that makes a scene. So the protests are expected to fill in spaces around the city, and also tomorrow when hundreds of thousands converge for the Women's March on Washington.
Also, we should mention the Capitol just went through a multi-million-dollar renovation. All the scaffolding is off. It looks as good as the day it opened up.
This Capitol is simply resplendent. Red, white, and blue bunting is up. There are 5 giant American flags draped between pillars. The one we're used to seeing, and then the one that dates from the late 1700s when New York, the president-elect's home state, was admitted to the Union, and flanking those flags on either side, the Betsy Ross flag of the original 13 colonies. And so this looks the part. And shortly, President-elect Trump will emerge from the red-draped archway, step onto the west front of the Capitol to deliver a speech that we're told is going to be poignant and powerful and beautiful, and give a vision for the country that will shake it up.
Aaron Katersky, enjoy the day. We look forward to all of your coverage and the play-by-play starting at 10:30 this morning. Aaron, thanks for checking in on a busy morning.
Thanks, McGraw.
You got it. ABC News correspondent in Washington, D.C., Aaron Katersky is there at 10:30 today. None better. And I say this because we are part of the ABC family, but I've worked for all the different radio companies, if you will, and there is none better than ABC. And if you cannot get, if you want the best in play-by-play and the best in terms of all that, none better than Aaron Katersky, ABC.
Absolutely.
So he'll do the play-by-play starting at 10:30, and then we'll carry all of that. We'll carry the swearing in, and then we'll also carry, of course, then President Trump's speech. All of that starts at 10:30 this morning. We should also say